Chapter 6. Kim wakes up with a jolt on her couch, having fallen asleep there unexpectedly once again. Pity naps are the worst, where she sleeps the day away to avoid living through her own eyes for a period of relief. The time is still only 5 o'clock, and she can easily make it to her meeting as planned. She rubs her eyes and sighs, feeling trapped somewhere between yesterday and tomorrow in her journey. Nobody said recovery would be easy, but they never said it would be this hard either. The give and take is exhausting. Walking toward her unused kitchen counter, Kim grabs the plastic bag of jumping spiders, having forgotten to move them to a more suitable container in her sorrowful state. She unwraps the twist tie and snatches one spider from the top to snack on, reveling in every sensation she associates with fleeting happiness, before dumping the rest into a plastic food storage container that already had holes poked in the lid from previous occasions. Feeling unusually malevolent, she lifts the corner of the lid and plucks another, chomping down on its body and swallowing the pieces. "I'm sorry. I don't know what came over me. You deserved better. Please forgive me." The self-pity never ends, even when it steamrolls others. There was a time not long ago, yet also part of another life, when Kim would awaken and brew herself a delectable pot of coffee to enjoy before heading off to work. She also ate normal food then, and would scramble a few eggs and make some toast to go along with them. Those days feel ancient and irredeemable now, like memories of a past life before being reincarnated into a monster. Thoughts of her late husband return, but she forces herself to save them for the meeting in just a few short hours. They might be able to make progress there, while she will only be ambushed by negativity at home, and it would be too embarrassing to call Robert again. Kim has even begun to feel that she has worn out her welcome with Anna, who lives in the tiny apartment rent-free and has no choice but to listen. After eating a couple more spiders for courage, she dresses herself and does everything she can to feel more ready to face that fateful meeting. This will be her third in as many days, and she should start to feel more comfortable soon. Though the previous 2 nights also took quite a bit of self-encouragement before entering. Like Robert said, focus on the long-term goal instead. "I'm headed out now, Anastasia. Seems better to get a head start instead of showing up late. Yet I won't walk in early enough to interrupt the previous meeting again. That Marcia was an awful one I don't want to see tonight." Kim's new superstition to charge through her front door and leave as quickly as possible goes smoothly, and she avoids hearing any murmurs from Alex's shadow memory. The night ahead is for healing and overcoming obstacles, not creating new ones. She feels a small amount of optimism about making a fair bit of progress at the evening meeting, and can't afford anything getting in the way of that continuing. There is also no telling how the drive will go, although she feels stronger than usual at the moment, due mostly to the above-average number of spiders she has been able to eat. Kim climbs into the driver's seat and begins the trek towards salvation, knowing that she has reached the tipping point of either small progress or total failure, which her stomach confirms. People have laughed at her and questioned her addiction, but they also don't know the struggles of choosing between horrifying starvation and the rapid degradation of one's gastrointestinal system from chronic self-abuse. The instinct to eat is a factor in struggling to quit, but that is only now that she has fallen so far down the well, as there was a definite motive of punishment involved that drove her to start eating spiders in the first place. Some might call it survivor's guilt, or an addictive personality that was only waiting for an excuse to get hooked on something. But there's no fun left in this lifestyle anymore. The worst part of it is she never got any sort of high out of the addiction. It was all to give herself even more pain that she deluded herself into believing she deserved. The suffering eventually bled over the lines of comfort, and now those 8 tiny legs scurrying around her mouth and throat are the only things she can look forward to anymore. This is not at all the life she would have guessed for herself as a child, who was deathly afraid of spiders. Before long, the foreboding building enters view, and Kim pulls into the parking lot feeling absolutely exhausted after her second trip of the day. Her stomach grumbles from nerves, hunger, or the irritation of ulcerated tissue, but it is annoyingly painful regardless. Each night, the meeting presents a new challenge of how to knock her off balance, and tonight is by far the worst yet. She is going to attempt to talk about her late husband, per Robert's suggestion. Lord help her. The trauma recovery meeting should be ending shortly, and she will wait inside one of the vacant rooms until they pass. Increasing self-confidence is absolutely on the list of things to work on, but perhaps it doesn't need to be thrown on top of the pile like another heavy boulder pinning her at rock bottom. One thing at a time. Focus on the controllable and move forward from there. Kim walks through the glass doors once again, feeling proud of herself for at least making it this far, and hoping that, like the previous 2 nights, adrenaline will carry her forward once inside the room. After a few peaceful minutes in the dark and vacant room, she hears the doors open, followed by the sounds of people walking down the hallway and talking amongst themselves. One of them is unmistakably Marcia. "Bitch," Kim whispers to herself, feeling slightly more bold than before, but not enough to step out and be exposed. She will keep working on that. A blanket of calmness overtakes the hallway once the first meeting has entirely cleared out, offering her a window of opportunity to slip into the meeting room and be there before anyone else arrives. "Kim, glad to see you here." Robert greets warmly as he smiles from ear to ear. "How are you doing?" "Good. Well, better than before. I think I'm ready." "You made it, so I'd say that's about as ready as can be. Remember, you can share as much or little as you like. We are all only here to support you. What I said earlier on the phone was only a suggestion, but it doesn't have to all happen tonight." "I know," she nods. "If I'm being honest, once I get in the room, a lot of my fears go away. I didn't know if I would be able to talk about my husband to a group of strangers, but now that I'm here, I want to get it off my chest. That's because you are surrounded by people who understand you, and for a lot of our members, that is something they have never felt before. I can certainly say with confidence that I have never come across someone in your situation, but everyone here knows what it's like to feel powerless or struggle just to make it through another day." "You're right, and I think I get that now. I've spent the last year locking myself away, hiding from my feelings, punishing myself. It's time for me to move forward with my life, and we're here to help you do just that." He beams as the attendees begin to pile into the room. "Would you like to speak first again?" "Yes, that would be nice. I want to get started before I lose the adrenaline." "You got it. Go ahead and take a seat next to the podium. We've got just a couple more minutes before officially starting. I'll address the room and give my opening statement, then the floor is all yours." "Thank you." Kim nods as she sits down at the back of the stage. More people pour in, some she recognizes from the previous night, but also plenty of new faces too. They stare at her in return, and she feels a bit silly sitting above them like a special guest, especially on what is only her second night in attendance. Just one more minute. Her heart beats steadily yet hard while her nervous system is active but not overactive. She has nothing left to lose aside from her life, which has already felt lost for far too long. What does the barely walking dead girl have to fear anymore? Shame? Embarrassment? Not here. Not tonight. Welcome, everyone. We are about to begin yet another meeting of Empowered Eating, and I am so excited to see all of your faces again. My name is Robert, and I am your host. Kim watches him speak and feels inspired, but also broken. The realization hits home like a sledgehammer to her slender face that she would not be here if she did not have a critical issue needing immediate fixing. The thought stifles her adrenaline rush momentarily to bring her crashing down to earth. She is not here to have fun or feel good about herself. The rest of them may be, but they are very likely much further in their recovery than she is. Kim is in this meeting tonight to purge herself of deep-seated demons and self-destructive habits. She must first shed the concrete cloak that is dragging her down to the bottom of the ocean before feeling empowered. She's pissed, mostly at herself, but at the world as a whole because why not? It's full of assholes, except for Robert. But a burning, itching sensation covers her skin and causes her to feel irrationally irritated. It is not unlike the feeling of spider legs trapezing up and down her skin, although she does not like it at all. Kimberly? Huh? I said we're ready for you now.